yeah, a quick rundown on this patch and what we got. Lol, that snowman in the tank. Right. Yeah, well, obviously the main thing we kind of got in this patch was the Japanese tanks. This stuff. Now, what we also got with the patch were bugs. Lots and lots of bugs. Or say features. You know, bugs, features, same thing. Stuff such as I mentioned already, I'll reiterate it now because this is obviously separate. But yeah, tank destroyers that cost the same to spawn in as medium tanks. All of them. All of those tanks there, those TDs, cost the same to spawn in as medium tanks. That is really a tank destroyer. It even says it's a tank destroyer. So what the fuck it's doing there, I have no idea, because it should be here. Gaijin. AA. Every AA I've tried so far, apart from that one, for the Japanese, so that one basically and that one, have got the same spawn points cost as a medium tank. Which, you might think to yourself, oh, okay, yeah, that's something they can fix really easily. And it is something that they should be able to fix really easily. Yet they haven't done it yet. They added in 2 tanks for the Japanese yesterday, I think it was. I wasn't here, I know it's on their website, but by the way, they added in 2 new tanks for the Japanese that they apparently forgot to put into the tech tree. And they do put those in, but they haven't fixed the SPAA or the tank destroyer spawn points cost. And it's like, you know, what the fuck, guys? Get your priorities right. Fix the bugs instead of throwing in stuff that we don't really. I mean, it's 2 tier 1 tanks. Those 2 tanks there were the ones that were added in there, I believe. And I'm just thinking to myself, you know, why are you putting them in when you can't even fix that? Something that basic you struggle with, but you can put two new tanks in. It really boggles the mind when it comes down to it. And I'm guessing it's going to be the same with everything that has basically been thrown in with this patch. In that the Japanese tanks are going to be full of bugs. Of that I have no doubt. Anything else that was thrown in as well, I wouldn't be surprised if they have bugs as well. So, you know, something, what was it, Mark 5, both the Hamptons for the British. They even changed, was it that? Yeah, they changed that as well. That's been changed. Let me just bring that up. This has been changed. It's now got different armament, and it's now a different plane, actually. It's the Spitfire Mark 9E, as far as I'm aware. Why it doesn't actually say that there, I'm not sure. That's weird. But prior to this patch, that didn't have 50 cars. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's got bugs in it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's got bugs in it. Those have both probably got bugs in them. I think actually that shouldn't be so bad for the British, because the other vehicle they got was that, and that is a copy paste from the Americans. It's literally the same tank as the American tank, and therefore it shouldn't really have any bugs. It may have bugs on it, I am honestly not sure, but I'm just saying it shouldn't. As far as this tank itself goes, what I find amusing about this one is it took them a year to copy and paste it from the American tech tree and put it into the British one. That really makes me chuckle. It's just amazing, you know, a year to copy and paste something. That's literally all they've done. Apart from the battle rain, they didn't copy and paste that apparently. The British one's got a higher battle rain than the American one, I think. Anyway, onto the Russians. Right, now the Russians, they got added that piece of filth. for the aircraft, and they also got the Hampton. Now, if the British Hampton is bugged, then this will be bugged as well, because this should be a copy and paste. Just say Mark 1. Let's have a look. The same. Yeah, we've got the Mark 1 for the British as well. Okay, so yeah, in theory, that should be the same as the British, and if the British one's bugged, then this will be bugged, like I say. Yeah, I thought as much. Comedy of comedies with Gaijin once again, because very few of the aircraft actually get to carry torpedoes, as far as I'm aware. And surprise, surprise, that can as well. I'm just thinking if there's anything else in there that can. I know that this can, obviously, that's why they added it in this patch, because the next patch is going to have the naval units in. We got the LA-11 there, which is basically a slightly different version to the LA-9. Well, it is completely different, obviously. It's the LA-11 for a start. But this, I'm not interested in getting at all. I mean, to be honest, I'm not interested in getting any of these tier 4s for the Russians. Because I don't tend to really enjoy flying something when I know that it's, you know, broken in certain ways. And generally speaking, that is the case with a lot of these aircrafters. Well, Russian ones in particular. Surprise, surprise. As far as the tanks go, what did they get for that? They got the ZIS-43 and the Object 906. I think that was it. As far as their performance goes, yeah, not got either, so I can't tell you, unfortunately. That should be kind of similar to that. I think they're the same gun. Yeah, the same gun, different battle range for some reason. Don't ask me why. Ammo is slightly more than that. That really shouldn't be enough reason to put that battle range down by 0.7 in comparison to that one, in my opinion. But that's my opinion, obviously, not Gaia Boobs. I don't think there's anything else there. This thing, yeah. I was expecting that to have a lower battle range, and I'm kind of expecting Gaijin to drop the battle range on it, if I'm honest. You still got to get down to tier 4 to get that, though. They really make me chuckle sometimes when they do stuff like this. It's just fucking... Yes, comrade, you need the heat FS to make this vehicle effective, so you're going to have to spend a lot of gold to get that, if you want to kind of pay to win it. Yeah, I mean, they got that as well. I don't think they got anything else. I could be mistaken, but I don't really care about the Russian stuff in this game. Not anymore. Well, not previously, and certainly not now. As far as the Germans go, they got 0 tanks, and they got a few planes. Ju-88 C6. I've flown that out. That's interesting. It's different to a normal Ju-88, obviously. Though I think with regards to the way it looks, people are going to spot that straight away and be like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to do a head-on with that one. As far as the HE-100D1 goes, I've taken it a couple of times. I think I've got like 2 kills in it so far, maybe 1. I'm not honestly sure. I haven't rewatched the footage, but that's, yeah, it's relatively mediocre, I suppose, for its kind of performance and battle rate. Very similar to that, in my opinion, in that it's just got machine guns, no cannon. Its performance, as far as its flight model goes, yeah, it's okay. I honestly, it's not spaded yet, so again, I can't really comment on it so far. I was just thinking, what else did they get? They got the tier 154A1. I've not got that. We'll probably or possibly get it soon, TM, and we'll be checking that out. But I'm not expecting that to be, you know, an Uber plane. At least from what I've seen. The Focke-Wulf A5U2 is the new kind of Focke-Wulf A5 that they've dropped in. Why that's before that? That's the U12. That should be below that, surely. See, it's little things like that. I'm just like, who the fuck did that? You know, do you actually pay someone to do this shit? Because, yeah, maybe you should consider hiring someone else. Either they're overstressed or they're a moron. but that's, by the by. The actual aircraft itself, I haven't got it yet, so I can't comment on that one. The Americans, they only got, I think it was just no, it was 2 planes actually. Yeah, they got that, the B-34, which is basically the American version of the Hudson, which is a British premium bomber that they had in the previous patch, so 1.63. And they also added in the Hellcat. This is the night fighter variant. And bizarrely enough, I find with this one is that, obviously it's a night fighter, so it's got this big radar beam here. There's nothing, and as far as I can tell, it doesn't affect performance either. Along with that, because why not? Basically, it's got 220mm cannon instead of 50 cals, and it's still got another 4 50 cals as well, which is actually pretty decent in my opinion. That's not a bad loadout at all. And it's, pretty effective in my mind. I'm going to fly this out more and probably enjoy it quite a bit. So far, I think I've taken out only for, is it 1 game or 2 games? It might have been 2 games, I'm not sure. But I've enjoyed flying it so far, and I'm looking forward to flying it some more. As far as the performance goes, very similar to the normal Hellcat. And the main difference, I think, with it is the cannon. In fact, this is the kind of weird thing I find with this. Considering it's a night fighter, you wouldn't, in my mind, I wouldn't expect it to be ordnance capable, i.e. that it can carry ordnance. But this can carry ordnance. It can carry exactly the same loadout as the normal Hellcat, which, like I say, in my mind, it is a bit of an odd one because it's a night fighter. If you understand what I mean. If a plane is dedicated for a specific role, you'd expect it to be used kind of for that role and not for something else that is more hazardous for this kind of, well, for the plane. It's a bit, strange. I mean, to be honest, they should get the same treatment with this, the Americans at least, or rather Gaijin, in that this, as far as I'm aware, was never fitted with any ordnance at all. Yet in game gets ordnance, and that's another issue. I'm just thinking though. I think that's around about, well, that's it as far as what we've had added in goes for 1.65. But there are some other bits. Obviously, there's the maps we've had added in, and the cockpits for all the bombers. I mean, the cockpits. Yeah, I mean, I've been having a look at some of them, obviously, over the last, well, since I've been playing it, since it came out, and they are very placeholder, certain ones. I assume that Gaijin are just going to upgrade them as and when they could do. As far as the bugs go, and this is also what I should mention as well, it's one of the reasons why I've not done a video on this yet. On this patch is basically because of the amount of stuff that's going to change between now and say 2 months down the line, and it's to do with Gaijin's development process. They've thrown in a load of stuff they probably didn't, well, I say they probably didn't know, but knowing Gaijin, they probably just went, this is almost ready, this is almost ready, this is almost ready, we'll put it in and we'll see what happens. And then, it comes back with all of these bugs. So then they have to figure out what's causing the bugs and so on and so forth. So this patch is pretty much the same as kind of like all of the other patches in certain respects, in that we've got a load of new stuff and now we've got to wait for Gaijin to fix it. It's, just a long process at the end of the day. And the irony, again, of Gaijin choosing a snail as its mascot isn't lost on me.